Hey everybody, it is Sunday, January 3rd, and it is time for my sketchbook review, and this is the first sketchbook review of the new year. So happy! I didn't realize how exciting it was going to be to have like a whole new sketchbook review, like just a whole new year to start over, because I really started in the middle of the year with my with my first sketchbook reviews. I was just kind of doing something fun. Actually, it was last summer, and I don't know, I get so much enjoyment with having a chance to share with somebody, because there's really no one for me. I mean, I share with like a few friends and stuff like that, but they're not as, I can't just talk to them, you know what I mean? They like look at me like I'm weird, or they're like, oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah, all right. Yeah, and it's like, okay. So at least this way I can say what I want about my artwork, and like I don't have to see somebody's expression of pure boredom and because my husband tries, but like he's not as into this stuff as I am, so yeah, it gets lonely sometimes, but it's okay. Alright, so this week I had to get the commissions going for my contest winners, and the first one I had to do was Taddy 1907. She won my contest, and she requested that I do a Copic commission of her character Frederick. And look at, oh my god, I went back in and I did more detail to the eyes, and they just, oh, so wonderful, so wonderful. Yeah, looking back at it now, I'm a lot happier with it now than I was. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys, I did actually, it wasn't glitter pen, it's actually a metallic pen, so it's shiny, 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 but it actually has a color to it, it's not just glitter. And that was one of the things I added into his hair to kind of make it special. But since she lives further away than the other contest winner, I wanted to get hers done first because it's going to have to go overseas. And I really wanted her to see it before I shipped it out, and I also wanted it to be in my sketchbook review. So this is ready to go. I'm going to package this. I've got everything else ready to go. I'm going to hopefully mail out that contest box tomorrow, because it has to go in a box, because I'm not going to trust the post office to not mess up a package in like a bubble mailer or something. So I'll be sending that out tomorrow, hopefully, because I have to go out and buy like a dress for my pinning ceremony anyway. Ooh. So yeah, so this I wanted to show and then be done with it. And I had to use both of my sketchbooks this week because I ended up going up north to do some work on Friday night, and no, Thursday and Friday, and then it was Friday. That's right, we were supposed to go up possibly Thursday night, and then we decided not to because we were just too tired, and then we went up Friday and came back Saturday night, last night, so and now it's Sunday. So I had to take my little sketchbook to do some stuff in, just because my big sketchbook, my scratch pad here, the big one, like people tend to sit there and stare because I work larger, and I don't like that. So I got my little sketchbook. So we'll start with the big one because it's got the precursor stuff in it. This, I don't know if I showed last week, but this was going to be the new doodle for my 3-marker challenge. But I don't like the position she's in. It kind of looks like a poop squat. So I'm not going to use it. So I need to scrap this idea and just kind of... And then I moved into doing some more Pipers. I just really wanted to get more expressions for her down because I decided to do her background comic. I decided to kind of get to know the character a little bit better. Like, I know it pretty well. I know her pretty intimately. She's my baby. But I wanted to get more expressions just preset with her, so that way I could go ahead and move into the comic and feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more confident that I have my own references for her. So in this one, I put her like in a nicer dress, like a bigger, like more fancy dress, like richer in a richer dress than what she normally would be wearing, because within the series she's pretty much poor. No, there's no pretty much about it, she is poor. But I put her in this, and I gave her a little Victorian top hat that's way off center, but whatever. But she looks so happy. Look at how happy she looks. And this one, she just got a slap. I don't know who would, I know of maybe one person who would slap her, but Piper very rarely actually has to deal with violence. She actually lucks out a lot, but you know, every now and then she does get a good smacking. And you know, every now and then I like to draw my characters abused a bit. This one was just her kind of wearing a fancy dress with like little fancy jewelry, and I gave her little fancy dangly earrings. And I hate that I can't should get something to angle my, you know something? Yeah, that's the next project. I'm going to find something to angle my sketchbooks up for this. Because then stuff like this, you guys can actually see it. But, I just wanted her looking cute, like, for a formal occasion. And then I got a picture of her over here giving Lasren a little kiss on the cheek, and oh, because it's so cute. I do like them. They are my OTP. I can't get over it, and I just can't. And there's Piper just kind of being Piper. And then this right here is what really prompted me to start doing. I don't know what it is about this particular image, but I don't know. It just prompted me to really want to do her background comic. Like, because all I've ever really shown of Piper is all these happy images, but she actually comes from an incredibly tragic background. She actually comes from an incredibly tragic lifestyle. So I wanted to hit on that, but not completely hit on that. So the back comic, which unfortunately I'm not showing on my sketchbook review right now. I think I'm going to get a few more pages into it. It's already up on my Tumblr, so I encourage you guys to go there. It's on my DeviantArt. It's on my Fur Affinity. What else is it on? That's it, actually. I do highly encourage you guys to go check it out there, because that's where it's going to be actively updating. My sketchbook reviews, I'm only going to be doing it probably in sets of like 5 or 10. So you guys would have to wait a couple weeks before I was able to show it, depending on how quickly I work on the comic itself. But I had this whole thing plotted out, like it's going to be grayscale comic, because I can actually work pretty quickly in grayscale. And I'm keeping it very simple. I'm keeping it very, like, I'm not even really doing clean art. I'm kind of doing like just quick art. Really, it's to get the idea down and to get my hand moving. It's all about speed. It's all about pumping out pages. It's not necessarily about making the best new comic out there, because that's not it at all. I just want to get the story out there. But it's all going to be grayscale, because it's all supposed to be a flashback. And the way I've lettered it, I've decided to letter it is just easier for me, because I lettered comics for several years. Personally, word balloons annoy the crap out of me, because that's not like, I don't like word balloons. I never have. And I don't like preset fonts. I never have. And I understand that for legibility, printability, and for the ease of reading, yes, all those things are great and good. But for me, making my own comic, just having fun, I'm just going to stroke the letters and write it in by hand, because I feel that that's more personal. I feel like if I can assign a color to a character, then that just makes it more, it makes it to where you understand a character, like you see a bit of their personality through the color choices I've made. Things like that. Like, I'm thinking way too deeply into it, and you guys are probably just like, can we just read the comic and you shut up? Yes, exactly. So just go and enjoy the comic. It's on my Tumblr. That's where it's going to be updated the most. But the updates, they're not planned or anything, so it's just going to update when it updates. But yeah, so this is becoming a comic, which you guys, as you can see here, I've actually started. I do sketch everything out first, then I scan it in. I don't plot out my panels. I kind of panel as I go, which is a very dangerous game to play, because, and I'll show you why later. But I tend to just do individual drawings for each panel. Like, a lot of people, like, they want their panels set and then they do the drawings within the panels. That's not how I operate. It's never how I've operated, because I feel like that it limits you too much, and that you can get more life if you're just a little bit more free with how you do it. And everyone does everything differently. Like, some people do exactly like, I forget what his name is, but he does Mouse Guard. He actually came and gave us a lecture multiple times when I was in college for graphic design, so it was for my first degree. He came in and he said this exact same thing. He's like, I used to draw panel to panel, but it limited me too much. And then I think it's Dave Peterson. No, it's not. Oh, man. And I know it's like right around here somewhere. Anyway, back to the point, is he said that it came to a point where he just drew illustrations for the scenes that he wanted and made those illustrations fit into panels, which works a lot better, because sometimes you get really good dynamic angles. You don't have to sacrifice the art, and I prefer that way much more. And since I'm the artist and the letterer, I only have myself to blame when I don't have room for dialogue, so then I have to make adjustments. So for me, it's fine. I don't recommend other people necessarily do it that way, but if it's your baby, it's your baby. So here we got a couple thumbnails. I started roughing things out, writing out plot, and then I was like, psst, forget it, we're just gonna go with it. So, because that is actually how I operate too, which is why I probably never finish anything. But I have my first panel illustration, which is just kind of Piper looking sad and everything. And then this was the second illustration. It was supposed to be viewed from this angle, and it actually turned out well. It was a difficult angle. I don't know why I did it to myself, but it turned out okay. First page stuff here. Second page stuff here. These are just some NPCs. They don't really have a story themselves. They're just part of this story. And then as I was going, I was like, oh man, profile, profile, profile. I'm falling into that same trap again that I always fall into, which is way too many profiles. So I've already had to go through and redo, like, I went from, let's see, I went from this profile thing here, which isn't bad. It works. It's cute. But this adds just a little bit more dimensionality to the actual thing. And it turned out a lot better. She looks adorable. She's the master of pouting. But, so already, I'm already having to catch myself. Already. I'm catching myself and making these mistakes. And then here's another quick panel, and then another. Like I said, I'm just going to fly through these because you guys can go read the comic yourself and see that this panel gave me so much trouble because I ended up flipping everything. So not only did I flip it and see all the bad anatomy, I flipped it and I was like, oh crap, that doesn't flow. So now we have to adjust. So I had to do some adjustments, and then I had to adjust her face because it just wasn't right, and it's still not right, honestly. It looks terrible. I want to go in and fix it. But I'm leaving it for now. I can always go back later. I worked almost an entire day on one panel. It was so messed up, and I was so mad at myself about it. And I was like, you know, it's not, just put it up, get it up. They're not really going to care that much about one panel being off, whereas all the other panels are just fine. Just put it up and move on, because you need to get going. Because it's not about, I mean, yes, I would like to be accurate. I would like my art to be beautiful. I would like it to be perfect. But it's not going to be, because that's not what I'm going into this for. I don't want perfect, beautiful art. I want to get the story out there. And it's also a good exercise in speed, because with gesture drawing, like all of my stuff is gesture drawing, and then I finalize it over top. But really, I should just be focusing more on my gestures. And it helps when you don't kind of focus on perfection. Some people do. Some people think that every single panel has to be a work of art. And yeah, you know, to some degree it does. But if it conveys the story, if it conveys motion, if it conveys emotion, and you get your point across, I say it's still a successful comic. And like I said, I'm not looking to get popular off this comic. It's just a story in my head that I am very into right now and would like to get out there. So don't judge. Besides, you know, whatever. I am a sketcher. I am not necessarily a finalized artist, and I need to find a better way to get sketchier artwork. Like Spice and Wolf has, like, it's a tightness, but there's a sketchiness to it, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for. Is very little, like, it's just nice. Okay, so I'm babbling, I'm sorry. So these were the last two panels, well, last three panels or whatever. And then this goes into the next page, which I haven't actually put up yet. So you guys are getting a little sneak peek. And I'm staying away from, I don't like it when the character looks like, now this was flipped, so she's actually looking in the other direction in the actual comic page. So this actually will resolve itself. But I don't like it when the character is looking in the same direction multiple times. It bugs me. It just bugs me. But yeah, see, like right here, like I thought about doing a profile thing here, but I didn't. I pulled it back to a 3/4 view. She actually needs to be made a little bit smaller, and I'll probably do that in the digital version. I'll just shrink it down. And this right here, I do a profile thing here. I'm like, yeah, no profiles. But this might actually work. It looks a little creepy, but I'm trying to overlook it because it will actually work for the panel I'm planning. So we'll see. We'll see. All adjustments can be made later, and I can always redraw the panels digitally, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. And then back to fan stuff. I got really into over the week, because I had time to actually look at artwork and like my updates and things like that. I really got into Twisted Wind's version of Count Mickey Dracul. Dracul. I like saying it. But I got really, really into it, and I like read the entire like series like overnight. I up until 4 o'clock in the morning still reading it. I was like, I need to go to bed, and I was like, I can't. I need to finish this. What happens? And everybody. Oh. So I, of course, made an OC for the world, and I was like, why are you doing this? People are gonna think you're weird. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I can go ahead and be weird. I enjoy it, and it's keeping my hand moving, so I'm happy. So I made a little mouse character, like. I mean, unfortunately, because of the way that the characters are designed within the Disney world, they do tend to look a lot alike. Minnie would look like Mickey. Well, Minnie and Mickey do look alike. Like it or not, they're almost the exact same design. So, there you go. But I just made a character, and I thought it'd be cute to give her little pigtails. And she's actually a brown color instead of the black, the standard black color that, like, Mickey and Minnie are. And I gave her, like, these awesome little high heels that I love. And it's like, she doesn't have a profession or anything. I haven't decided, but I just have fun drawing her, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. You can't stop me. And then, of course, I drew a picture of Piper and Lacer. It's not Lacer anymore, it's this friend. But I got him and her kind of cuddling, which is cute. I love it. I love it. And then I'm trying to do more cute little details, like having tails intertwined and things like that, just to kind of add a dimensionality. But yeah, this was a roleplay scene, so it's cute. I like the hair. The hair turned out good. Here's more of that mouse character. I don't like this because it looks too Sonic the Hedgehog-y. There's like this really fine line between Disney and Sonic the Hedgehog style. Actually, if I made this wider, I'm looking at it now through the viewfinder. If I made it wider, it would look more Disney. This turned out really, really nice. This one turned out excellent. I love how this one turned out because it conveys like motion and happiness and just exactly how I want the character to be portrayed. And then I got like a little expression going on over here. I was just trying to get to know the character a little bit better. I don't have a story for her or anything. This one turned out really, really good too, considering I was just trying to operate with different angles. And I need to start getting a little bit more dynamic in my angles, and I recognize that. So whenever I get the chance, sketching in different angles is going to be happening. I actually am going to look up some foreshortening stuff. I'm going to look up some dimensional stuff to see if I could just kind of pull myself out of my comfort zone a little bit more. But oh, and looking at this today, I struggled with this all night. I erased so much and it still looks terrible. But I think if he was bigger, because she's supposed to be smaller, it would work. But for those of you who don't know, this is Panchito Pistolas from the Three Caballeros. Look it up. It was him, Donald, and Jose. I could say it like a month ago, and then like my tongue has forgotten how to move with the word. But one of the lesser known Disney characters, because I think he only made a few appearances, if that. But he did have a whole comic line, so I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those bird characters that Disney had out there. One of the fowl, along with Donald Duck and things like that. But I just thought it was cute because when I was reading the Twisted Winds, Count Mickey Dracul, every now and then a very lesser known Disney character would pop in just to be there. I mean, the popular ones were there too, but like Oswald Rabbit. Like, I realized that Oswald Rabbit is making a comeback because he was shown in a video game here recently with Mickey, I believe. But I remember Oswald as a child. I remember knowing about him, but there wasn't like cartoons or anything about him for my generation, so it kind of slipped my mind. But when I seen it, I was like, that's Oswald. I know who that is when I seen him in the comic, but it wouldn't click, like, was that a Disney character or is this an OC? So I ended up having to look it up, and then someone else confirmed it for me that yes, it was one of Disney's first creations, but Mickey kind of stole the show, if you will. So I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if like all these lesser known Disney characters just kind of popped in? And Panchito is actually not. He's very well known probably in Mexico and South America, like the southern part of America, but I don't think like internationally or even worldwide he's all that well known. So I just thought it would be cute to toss him in there. Be like, might I help you, señorita? Something suave. But alright, that's it for this sketchbook. Let's go on to this other one. Let's try to keep it under 25 minutes this week. There's really not that much in here. I just These are old. I just never showed them. Just a few pictures of Cherry. That was supposed to be Edwing's ancestor or something, but it just looks too much like Edwing, so I was like, whatever. It's junk. It's just it looks too much like his current day. So, and then I did a picture of Cherry, and I was like, oh, well, she's even angry when she eats, and I thought it was funny, like the whole concept that she's angry no matter what. So I drew and inked a picture of her being angry while she was eating. And then I did a couple expressions over here, just keeping my little psychopathic baby, like keeping her facial memory in my hand's periphery, my muscle memory. And then I did some Piper. I don't like this one. This one was stupid, but these are really nice, cute, happy Pipers over here. And this is like basically her. She is just a very happy, very kind, very smiley, laughy character. And that's why I like her. She is just radiating with positivity. And then I was up north, so I wanted to keep working on my Disney stuff on my little Disney mouse. So I went ahead and I started tightening her design a little bit. She's not an angry character. She just happens to be a little angry in this picture. But I was designing clothes for her. I tightened up the pigtails a bit. Here she's sleeping, so her hair's down anyway, but it's cute. I thought it was a very cute picture. It turned out. I actually put it on my on my Twitter. And then here, the body types are a little bit different and a little bit different than I'm used to, because I'm used to just drawing like full figure characters. But with the Disney mice, they tend to be a little bit more ambiguous with like their shapes. Like obviously with Disney, it's like just a big ball. It's not even really a shape. But I still want to give my ladies hips and breasts, so it's gonna happen. Sorry if you're offended by it. But that's it here. So that overall is it for the week. It's not as much as it has been, but I did do quite a bit of stuff digitally. And again, I'm having a hard time figuring out how I'm going to showcase those. And I don't like showing them through my Cintiq. But I'll work on it and see if there's a way. I mean, I guess I could just print them off, but my printer tends to put lines through everything because it's a jerk. But yeah, I do need to look into getting a external hard drive. I'm actually looking at one. I've got some Amazon gift cards, and I think with those, and then just with a little bit of extra money from my end, which isn't very much, it'd only be like $10. I'm thinking about getting a 2 terabyte external hard drive, like a portable one, because my artwork takes up so much room on both of my computers. Both of my computers are getting filled up pretty quickly, and I would just rather get an external and have folders and have everything separated out that way, because when I'm doing things on my computer, I just drop things in the folders and leave them because it's my computer, and if I need the file, I'll be able to find it somehow. But I would like to keep my artwork, like every week, dump my artwork off of my computer and onto an external. And I have a 500 gigabyte external hard drive right now, but it has a bunch of old Yen Press stuff on it that I'm not quite ready to let go of yet, because I don't know if I'm going to continue working for them or not. I haven't heard anything. I'm going to assume that they don't need me anymore. But I'm still just a little bit hesitant to let that go. Give it about 4 more months, I probably will just start deleting their stuff off of all my stuff. But yeah. So a 2 terabyte hard drive, I'm thinking about going ahead and getting that. My videos also take up a ton of space, and when I'm doing like recording, when I'm using my webcam to record and do my videos, it takes up even more. For some reason, it's like 20 gigabytes if I use my webcam and just record directly onto my computer, whereas with my camera it's like 1 or 2 gigabytes, and I still get higher quality on my hand camera, my digital camera, than I do on my desktop, which doesn't make any sense, but maybe I'm doing something wrong. But it is what it is, and I know that eventually I'll figure it out. I've been wanting a nice external hard drive for a long time. Something big enough that I'm not going to have to worry about. I didn't think I'd have to worry about replacing my 500 gigabyte one either, but those lettering files with the art being high resolution and everything, they take up a ton of room. We're talking 4 gigs a piece, and I've literally lettered hundreds of books. So it doesn't surprise me. But anyway, yeah, so I need to work up the courage to make that plunge and buy that piece of hardware. I'm like, but I don't want to. I don't want to spend money. Please don't make me. But I really do need to. So, yeah. Alright, so that's it for this week. Again, you know, Happy New Year to all of my subscribers. You guys are all amazing and awesome. And, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's sketchbook review. And if you did like it, go ahead and like and subscribe below. Feel free to leave a comment. I think I'm getting better at responding to comments, but I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this only one time, and it's not like to make anyone feel bad. It's like, if I get like a ton of the same comment, unfortunately, I cannot respond to them all because I don't have that kind of time. Like, or if your comment is so-and-so looks like so-and-so, I'm not going to spend my time. What do you say to that? It's like, I draw an original character and you're saying it looks like someone else's character or some other well-known character. I'm like, oh, okay, well, sucks for me that so I mean, I don't even know how to respond to some of the stuff, but if it's like a legitimate question that I haven't gotten before, I will take the time to respond. Or if it's just a genuine comment or a compliment, yeah, I do try to take my time to respond, or at least say thank you. I know I still miss some here and there. My phone has actually stopped alerting me to how many comments I'm getting, so I have to make sure I'm checking and everything. I feel bad because I don't mean to ignore anyone, but it's like, I can't respond to the same, well, why, or where. It's like, you guys know where you can find these. It's like they're Copics. Google it. You'll find out where you can buy them. I can't keep saying Hobby Lobby, Michaels, Amazon, Dick Blick. I mean, you guys should know by now. It's not that I feel bad that anyone, or am angry that anyone would bother asking, because I know I had those questions at one point too, but I also never asked an artist. I always went online and looked, so... But yeah, so if I get a lot of the same comments, I tend to not reply. But if it's like just a compliment, or if it's just, you know, a thank you or something like that, I do always try to reply. So don't think I'm ignoring anybody. It's just, make sure you check the comments. If a lot of people have made the exact same comment, or if it's just, your character looks like such and such from such and such, I'm not going to really respond to that, because what do you say to something like that? Like, oh, thanks, you're comparing my character to somebody else's, which is kind of insulting, but kind of not insulting. I understand what you're saying, is you recognize qualities in it, blah, 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 but it's like, eh. Alright, so, like, subscribe below, comment below, thumbs up if you want to, and I will see you guys in next week's sketchbook review.